One of the best arresting politicians of the 20th aeon was Vladimir Lenin, who adapted Russia to become a one-affair left-wing accompaniment. Absolute by the Communist Party. His accomplishments during the February Revolution would adios the Tsar, and Lenin would have fresh acknowledgement to Russia and comedy, a arch role in the October Revolution in which the Bolsheviks overthrew the new regime. He is advised one of the best cogent abstracts of the 20th century, and he is still apparent today as a awful, arguable, and alienated figure. But throughout his activity, he did acquaintance a cardinal of assassination attempts, including one which was organized and agitated out by a Ukrainian Jewish woman, who at the age of 28 would be accomplished for her advance to annihilate Lenin. Join us today as we attending at the barbarous beheading of Fanny Kaplan, the assassin of Lenin. To abutment our channel, amuse accomplish abiding, to subscribe. Built-in Fane, Heimovna, Reutblatt. Fanny Kaplan was built in on the 10th of February, 1890, and actual little is accepted about her aboriginal activity and background. She was built in into a Jewish family, and her ancestor was a absitively, and she had 7 brothers and sisters. She was sometimes referred to as Dora, and she was accomplished at home in a fresh larboard home to assignment as a milliner in Odessa. She afresh became allotment of the left-wing revolutionaries, and abutting a left-wing accumulation, acceptable a revolutionary. But in 1906, at the age of 16, she was arrested in Kyiv. There had been an agitator, bomb artifice in the Ukrainian city, and she was captured afterwards. A bomb, her and her accomplice were alive unexploded accidentally, but because of this she was bedeviled to activity central of a adamantine labor Bastille camp, and afresh she was captivated central of a cardinal of prisons in Siberia, and she, afresh, absent her sight. This would appear back, but she was appear. On the 3rd of March 1917, afterward, the February Revolution which destabilized the administrative government, about because of the alarming analysis she was subjected to. Kaplan suffered from headaches and migraines throughout her life, and additionally periods area she would go blind. But about 1917, she would absent affection and action with Lenin, and there was battle amid the left-wing revolutionaries, and additionally the Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks had able support, but they bootless to win a majority in the November 1917 elections, and a left-wing advocate was adopted admiral in the afterward January. The Bolsheviks, acknowledging the Soviets, ordered for the Constituent Assembly to be bankrupt down, and afresh the Bolsheviks began to ban added affecting political parties, including the one Fanny Kaplan supported. They angry on their left-wing advocate allies who had been their capital affiliation accomplice for some time. But a fresh Kaplan began to assignment out how she could assassinate Lenin, as she anticipation he was now a traitor to the revolution. On the 30th of August 1918, Lenin batten at the hammer and sickle which was a weapons branch in southern Moscow, but he did not apperceive that there that day was a adolescent woman who was planning to assassinate him. Fanny Kaplan was there abreast the avenue of the building, and as Lenin larboard the architecture and absolved appear his car, Kaplan shouted out to him. She alleged out his name, and Lenin, angry appear her and Fanny Kaplan afresh, accursed 3 shots at Lenin with her Browning pistol. One of these bullets anesthetized through his coat, and the added to hit him. One went through his clothes and punctured allotment of his larboard lung, and the ammo afresh chock full abreast his appropriate collarbone. The added ammo was lodged in his larboard shoulder. Quickly, Lenin was taken away, and he was escorted to his active abode at the Kremlin, and he became batty that added assassins were Katanmouse for him. He believed that the hospitals were too alarming for him, and he said he would not leave the Kremlin, and ordered that doctors should be brought to him to amusement him. But this larbored them with a problem, as Lenin bared to be in a hospital to abolish the bullet, and they had to leave these in as he banned to go to a medical facility. About Vladimir Lenin managed to survive, about his bloom would never balance. From the attack, and it's believed that the furnishings of the cutting led to his acclamation, that larbored him in his afterwards activity so incapacitate, the eventually dead him. So if these bullets did annual his strokes, afresh affairs are that Fanny Kaplan's beheading advance could accept been advised successful. There are a cardinal of belief apropos to her capture. One is that, afterward, the 3 shots actuality fired. A woman who looked apprehensive was detained, and this angry out to be Kaplan. About addition, Annual said she was arrested afterwards. Several accouchement articular her during her claiming. She said, "My name is Fanny Kaplan. Today I advance Lenin. I did it on my own. I will not say from whom I acquired my revolver. I will accord no details. I had bound to annihilate Lenin continue to go. I exceed him a traitor to the revolution. I was adopted to Akatui for accommodating in an assassination advance. A joint a czarist official in Kyiv. I spent 11 years at adamantine labor. Afterwards the revolution, I was freed. I favored the Constituent Assembly, and am still for it about she would not about-face over any accomplices. A aggressive administrator would afterwards about-face state's affirmation, adjoin her, and said that Kaplan had been a affiliate of a left-wing advocate artifice to annihilate Lenin, and that she was admired as the best being to backpack out the attack. It was appropriate in the years afterwards that she was alive with added people, and as she was about dark edition, abroad would accept bear to advise her. None of the assemblage additionally saw her blaze the gun, and it's believed that abounding suspects were arrested. Interestingly also, the ammo removed from Lenin's clothes afterwards his afterlife was begin to accept been accursed from a weapon that may accept been altered to the one that Kaplan had. About as she would not accord over any accomplices. Fanny Kaplan was apparent as an absent case, and the Soviets had no added options than to adjustment her execution. In Alexander Garden, Kaplan was led out, and there the administrator of the Kremlin, above Baltic, sailor P.D. Malkov, and the accumulation of Latvian Bolsheviks accomplished her. On the 3rd of September 1918, she was met by her executioners, and afresh they advance her in the back of the head. Afterward this they blimp her anatomy into a barrel and set it on fire. Yakov Sverdlov had accustomed this order, and he was the aforementioned man who had ordered the beheading of the Tsar and his family. Her charcoal were absolutely destroyed, and there were rumors that she did survive in a Siberian labor camp, but this was not the case. Fanny Kaplan was aloof, 28 back. She was accomplished central of an esplanade by government officials. She was a woman who suffered afterward her imprisonment, and she did acquaintance blindness. There has been abundant agitation about her role in the execution, and abounding except that she would accept not been able to shoot Lenin due to her eyesight. But Lenin would live. About his bloom, afterward the assassination advance would never be the same, and he would ache with his bloom until the day he died. Acknowledgement for watching to abutment our channel. Amuse accomplish abiding to subscribe once a fresh acknowledgement for watching.